My first question is, what did you think when you got as I understand it, a Facebook message from a kid all the way from Clayton, Missouri, wanting to know if you'd come to town?
Yeah.
Is that how it first?
That's pretty much how it happened. Is he sent me a message there. You know, that's several of the events that I've spoken at kind of started that way. Someone just got in touch. I thought it was pretty interesting that it was a young man like that. I was talking to David earlier about it, and it's those kind of people, I think, that are going to make a difference in this battle for the gay rights. They go out there and they take steps. They're proactive. He's a good kid. He's got a lot on the ball, and he put a lot of effort into this. So I'm pretty impressed with Cooper.
What makes you want to come all the way here and do it, and speak to the kids?
Any opportunity to beat this drum, to be a counter voice to the message that they're putting out there is important to me right now.
Speaking of that message, is it? I think it's the kind of thing that a lot of people have a hard time wrapping their head around when they see some of the posters and they hear what they're saying, and they one reaction is to kind of write it off, that they don't even believe it themselves. Are they for real? Do they believe what they say?
They do. My father does. I have to assume that some of my siblings that are more militant about this do. Time will tell how much that sticks when my father passes. But my father definitely believes it. He's believed it for years. This whole ideology has been there from the beginning. He's just fleshed it out and made it a little bit more extreme over the years. But yeah, he believes it.
Did you believe it at one time? Yes.
Not to the extent that he did, but yeah, I mean, you can't be in a situation as a child looking up to an adult, that figure in your life, and just dismiss everything they say. I mean, they're the ones telling you how the world is. So absolutely, I embraced it to some extent.
And why not now? What changed it to make you change your views?
A lot of years, a lot of studying, a lot of asking questions, a lot of accepting that my viewpoint has validity just as much as his does. It's been a journey. I would say that what it boils down to, though, is, this may sound arrogant, but a different level of empathy. That I would watch him even when I was a young child and watch how he treated other people, and it just didn't fit. It didn't make sense in my heart. And you've got the issue of religion and theology and all that mixed into this, but the bottom line is it's how you interact, how you deal with other human beings. And the way he saw the world, the way he treated the world, didn't fit who I was.
So we see the messages on the posters and the slogans at protest, and they seem kind of violent. They are not. They seem angry, I guess would be a better word.
Right.
Are they an angry group of folks, outside of a protest, or outside of a?
They show themselves to be quite content and quite friendly, and I hear that often from people, is they're surprised how genteel and polite and kind they are. But I don't know how you carry that kind of fire in your bosom for all those years and not have a lot of anger and hatred. It's just, I don't see how that's possible.
Just a couple more questions. I know we don't have all the time in the world, but what did you think of the Supreme Court ruling? There've been some efforts even here locally to ban funeral protests and things of that nature. I'm curious what you thought of the ruling. And
I liked Scalia's dissenting opinion. I, in fact, had used very much the same arguments that he used in his dissenting opinion. I think they made a mistake. I hope that they can revisit it, because eventually some of these laws, these state laws that have been passed, will be challenged. And hopefully that'll get up there and it'll give them an opportunity to address that question better. Maybe this wasn't the right case. I mean, I don't want to say anything negative towards Al Snyder, because he's an incredible person. But maybe this didn't have the right elements for the Supreme Court to say, it's not okay for you to do this at a funeral. I think that they should have said that. I think they should say that.
Talk about tonight. What are you going to say to the young folks here tonight? What kind of a message do you want to give to them? And just specifically, what are you going to talk about?
Well, I'm going to talk about what it was like growing up there. You know, basically tell my story, which is impossible to do in 30 minutes, but give a flavor of it. And then I'm just going to talk about some of the experiences and attitudes that I've seen and developed over the last 2 or 3 years, speaking at gay pride events and dealing with that community more intimately. And I don't know if I want to say anything more than that. Let it come out in the speech.
Now, you yourself are not gay, are you?
No.
And why the interest in gay rights? Why the passion?
Because I think that's a good question, and I've thought about it a lot. And because sometimes I feel like it's not fair. Why should my voice matter more than anyone else's? Why isn't there someone, you know, a gay person up here doing this? Because I think ultimately it's about how you treat humans in general, and what my family is doing is mistreating humans in general in many ways. And this is just one of them. And so this touches on that issue intimately. And I have a right to talk about that. I understand that. I understand the being an outcast. You know, I certainly don't understand the specifics of what they have to deal with. I would never pretend to, but I understand some of the components of it, some of the suffering. So I think I can talk about that genuinely.
Are you pushing back against your family? Are you trying to undo some of what they're doing?
That's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, I think that, you know, if you look out 15 or 20 years from now, that there's going to be a lot of hurting people in my family. You know, I've had conversations with some of my nieces and nephews who've left, and they don't know what they're in for. You know, they get a few more years under their belt. And this is not going to end well for a lot of them. And so, yeah, I'm pushing back. I want to be there as that voice so that there's something that they can turn to when things get ugly.
Very good, thank you. Last question: do you have a tour? I mean, are you on a speaking tour? Do you have other engagements, or is it just when somebody like this young man gets the nerve to call you?
Yeah, I've got 2 other events planned coming up in the next couple of months. But no, yeah, it's just when it happens, it happens.
Are you writing a book or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
But you're not on a book tour, per se.
No. I mean, it's not out there yet. There's still some major obstacles to it ever getting out, but that's one of the things I'd like to do. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And do you go by Nate, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
You bet. It's my pleasure.